Hey, it's me again. I'm posting a second one tonight because I want to try something that's more story-like. The intention is still the same. It's a total goal to kind of help share a thought prep idea for you to take along your way in your week ahead. So here we go as story. It'll probably come out as poeming because that's just what happens when things are unscripted with me. I have an idea and I just kind of open up. Couple years ago, probably 3 now, when I moved into this beautiful little condo building in which I live right now. The decor was a certain way. The walls were painted and such. A couple of rugs were gracing the lobby floor as well as the laundry room, and were just little symbols of home and tender hugs. As a few years have gone by, and because this building has a huge turnover, lots of tenants move in and out for those owners who rent their units, not live in them. And with so much turnaround and so much changing, the little rugs that were once kind of perky and homey looking have become rather tired and dilapidated. And the somewhat quality standard that's extraordinarily high within me of creating a home office environment for those coming to visit me felt extremely challenged with the part of me that's just so grateful there's a roof over my head and knowing that this building houses many up in its tender nest. On the one hand, I felt frustrated, like I want the rugs to look a certain way. I want there to be freshness and joy and a principled environment about these walls each day. And that was always at odds with this part of my thought that was like, it's not your building. You don't have a say in what rugs are displayed in the public space. There's not a condo association. The majority of units are owned by one. And so my voice sort of has had little, if any, power, seemingly, when I've raised it up. So because I felt conflicted, and I know this issue's kind of tiny, but in the bigger scheme of things, it's not like, I've had to worry about a bomb going off. It is just a rug, but it was nipping at me daily when I'd enter the building, and it was gnawing at me constantly because I just wouldn't be tolerating dilapidated like that in my own home. So what do you do when it's gnawing at you, right? You can give up and leave and move, and I've done that before, but you can also turn thought to prayer. And if you're going, oh, she's lost me for sure. By prayer, I mean you can defend that. Details matter to everyone, and you can defend that. The home environment in which I'm sharing with several is valued by them as well. And as I prayed that way, a couple of weeks went by, and I actually found the courage to talk to the main guy who sort of handles the maintenance and handles the painting and handles all those details in careful, genuine ways. Turns out he didn't notice. Turns out his eye doesn't see that stuff. Turns out as soon as he heard me saying, it's kind of looking disheveled, he said, let's give some thought to that. In fact, he said, if you go buy one, I'll reimburse you. And that was huge because for a moment or two, I almost didn't approach him. I almost thought he won't listen. I almost thought, who am I? I almost gave in to the voice of intimidation and fear and think she's being a busybody. But instead I stood for principle and I addressed it quite honestly. And he didn't respond with aggression or disgust. He responded, of course we'll get on that. In fact, gave me permission to go ahead and replace the rug if I must. So I had it on my to-do list and I was going to get around to it. Just this morning when I went downstairs, there was a new piece of fabric lying in the floor as sure as I saw it. Now it's just a rug, and it's just a lobby about 8 by 10. But the bigger is this: I didn't let the irritation win. I chose to do something about it, and that hasn't always been the case. In fact, there's probably even right now lots of little things trying to gnaw at my attention and rob me of my inner peace. So with you, with your thought this week, with whatever is weighing in your mind, can you pray about it? Can you sort of defend the principle as governing and listen for what is a gentle, honest way to resolve it this time? Maybe it'll come to you to speak up as it did to me too. And maybe it'll come to you to let it go. And that's also sometimes the, most peaceful, harmonious thing to do. But there is a solution that doesn't require you being eaten up at night about it any longer, or during the day, or when you come in touch with that thing or that person, whether it's a human being or a rug. Okay. I'll land this here. My heart to yours. Thanks for giving a listen.